Today I'm going to be making mini Victoria sponge cakes. These are from the official Downton Abbey afternoon tea cookbook. This is my sister's and she loaned it to me. Hopefully mine will look as good as that because that looks pretty darn good. So the first thing we're going to do is go over our ingredients. For the cake itself, you're going to need 1 cup unsalted butter at room temperature. You need 2 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, that's the one in the very back, and then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You need 1 cup of granulated sugar, 4 eggs at room temperature, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. Now, these items I don't have measured out yet because this is for the filling. You need 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream. You need 2 tablespoons of confectioner sugar, so not much at all. And you need 2/3 cup of strawberry or raspberry jam. I bought raspberry jam. The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. This is going, it says it's going to, you're going to fill 12 ramekins. So you can see I have different sizes. That's okay. I'm going to use both and we'll see how it turns out. Last time I needed ramekins, I made the sticky toffee pudding and both sizes turned out perfect. So it literally didn't matter which size you use. Now, I have sprayed these 12 ramekins with Baker's Joy. If you don't have Baker's Joy, it tells you in the directions to use butter and flour for each one. Trust me, this is going to save you a lot of time. Just buy the Baker's Joy and spray them, and then we're going to move those over to the side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our flour and the baking soda and the salt, and you're just going to whisk this together. Whisk this together, and then we're going to set this to the side. They just kind of want you to mix it up a little bit in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then, yeah, set this to the side. And then in our mixer here, we're going to take the butter and we're going to cream the butter. We want it to get nice and creamy. And it's been at room temperature, so it won't be hard to do. So now we're going to add our granulated sugar and we're going to let this mix for about 2 minutes. I scraped my bowl down. I didn't show that part. You all know what it looks like to scrape a bowl down. Now I'm going to add my eggs one at a time, and when I get to my last egg, I'm also going to add in my vanilla. I'm going to add my flour mixture until it's just blended. Okay, so here is our dough, and you can see it's thick. It says you want to use 1/4 cup for each ramekin, and it says slightly rounded 1/4 cup. And like I said, I have different size ramekins here, so we're just going to go with it and see how far it goes. And if I don't have enough for all my ramekins, just like with the sticky toffee pudding when I made it, I greased too many of the ramekins, and you just wash them. That's what you do. I greased 2 extra, so I'm just gonna take those off. So I got 10. Okay, these are going to bake for 17 to 19 minutes. I'm gonna go for 18 minutes, but as always, when they come out, I will let you know exactly how long they were in the oven. I left the sponges in the oven for exactly 18 minutes and took them out. They are a light color, but now we're gonna let them sit here just like this for 15 minutes. We're not gonna do anything to them, and we'll come back in 15 minutes for the next step. Okay, this tray has cooled off enough for me to move it in 15 minutes. So you wanna go around the edge of each one and see if it's stuck at all. And that Baker's Joy I love it. It's like magic. So probably next to parchment paper, what do I love the most? Probably Baker's Joy. I think everybody should buy Baker's Joy. So just go around the outsides of these and make sure they're not stuck at all. Okay, now we're gonna take them and we're gonna turn them out like this. And they might be hot on the bottom, so have you a towel. And then when you do that, flip it back over. It says to flip it back over. Okay, maybe I won't flip it back over immediately because that tore apart. So I won't flip the next one back over that quickly, but it does say to flip them back over. So I'm gonna leave it like that for just a second and maybe give it a minute to sit. Now while our cakes are cooling, we're gonna take our powdered sugar and our whipping cream, and you're going to mix this together until it forms stiff peaks. I'm not gonna get fancy and use a piping bag. I'm gonna use a Ziploc bag. If you have a piping bag for this part, feel free. I'm going to put this in a Ziploc bag and it'll work fine for me. It did not take but just a minute to whip this up. So you wanna get your cake and use a serrated knife and cut it in half. And then you want to cut a tip or use your piping bag. However you're gonna do it. I'm gonna cut a corner off that and I'm gonna pipe this on. I don't know why they want you to pipe it on because honestly I could use a spoon and do the same thing probably. This is something that we do not have here though. At least if it's common, I have not seen this in America. So I don't know how this is supposed to look other than the picture I'm seeing. So then it says you want to use about a tablespoon of this jam. I'm using raspberry. Like I said, you can use strawberry as well. And you spread it around. And I'm gonna spread it on the other side. And I'm gonna have it kind of off the edge so we can see it. And then put it together like this. And then we're going to put some powdered sugar on top. So I have just a tablespoon of powdered sugar, a little less than that, and I have my wire here, and I'm gonna let it get on the plate as well. And that's how it looks. Okay, the book says, also known, these are mini Victoria sponge cakes, also known as Victoria sandwich. The Queen's actual tea time sponge cake would have been sandwiched with only a thick layer of raspberry jam and topped with a sprinkle of sugar. The earliest recipe for this buttery vanilla infused cake appeared in Mrs. Beeton's Household Management, published in London in 1861. The addition of a layer of whipped cream or buttercream is a recent innovation, but one the Grantham family would likely have enjoyed. Okay.
I want to try just some of the cream.
Oh, the cream, because we did add the powdered sugar to it.
Has a nice texture, good flavor.
But not overly sweet.
No, it's not super sweet, but
No.
it's nice.
I'm guessing the sweetness is going to come from the cake and
jam.
the jam. Yeah.
This is gonna sound so weird. You know,
I love that.
yellow corn muffins.
Yes.
It kind of has that flavor. I don't know if it's the
Of a
jam.
Jiffy?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the jam mixed with the cream and the cake mix, but
I'm going to have just some of the cake.
that cake has like a cornmeal kind of flavor.
That cake is nice all by itself. It's nice by itself, but I had some of the cream on it too, and I like it that way as well. But I love it with the raspberry jam. Now that raspberry jam is probably too much for you, isn't it?
No,
It's not?
No, it's balanced out by the cream and the cake really well. No, it's really good.
And this is a very pretty dessert. Very, very pretty dessert.
It is until you start cutting into it.
Yes. Yes, but then everybody's eating theirs, and
That's
so they
true.
all look the same. And you're so focused on your own that you're not worried about what anyone else is doing. I don't think this was hard at all. Just when they come out of the oven, make sure that you stick a toothpick in them to make sure that they're nice and baked. If you want yours to be browner, of course, I think next time I would let mine go for a longer time. Next time I make these, I will leave them for, this said, I think 18 to, it says 17 to 19 minutes. I think next time I will go for 20 minutes because I didn't get that brown color that they got in their picture. But if I had gone for 20 minutes, I think that would have been perfect.
Also depends on the size of your ramekins too. The big ones are going to cook slower.
So I'll probably make a note in this book, and I'll say 19 or 20. But I think these are absolutely delicious cakes.
They're very good.
And like I said, honestly, it's saying raspberry or strawberry. That's probably tradition. But if you have another favorite that you like, grape, why not? Apricot, why not? Use whatever you like that's going to make you happy. But I think it will totally go with this cake. Don't you think?
Yeah,
Any
pretty much
flavor.
anything. Although that tart fruit flavor of like the raspberry really goes well with it.
It does go well with it. But I don't think you're going to ruin it by trying anything with it.
No, not at all.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.